Alright, so here we go. 2 overs completed, and USA is 11 for 1. I'll tell you one thing against this Indian attack, that 160 will not be that easy. The Indians will have to bowl out of their skin to restrict the USA under this score. But we know this Indian attack is capable of that, and especially Arshdeep Singh, who starts with a wicket. He starts with a wicket of his second delivery. He's known for producing early breakthroughs, and that is exactly what he has done right now, as the ball takes the outside edge and pops off to a harmless catch to Shivam Dubey. The captain departs for a duck, Monank Patel, as the USA are now 11 for 2 of 2.1 overs. If you're here for the first time, please make it a point to like and subscribe. This is one of the very few English commentary streams you will find on YouTube. As the next batsman, Kumar joins the crease. He joins Reddy as Arshdeep Singh will continue his bowling. The USA need 115 runs in 106 balls. I'll tell you what, it's going to be tricky on this wicket because this is not behaving like a typical Wankhede wicket, which used to be a batting paradise during the IPL. This one appears to be a sticky wicket where the ball is not coming on as easily onto the ball. As Arshdeep continues and a single is taken, coming back to the wicket, that was an outside edge which popped into the air and landed right in the hands of Shivam Dubey, who did not even have to move. A fine exhibition of swing bowling from Arshdeep Singh. Reddy is the batsman on strike, and the next ball goes right to Ishan Kishan and is a dot ball. Seems to be a shaky start for the USA, but it has to be said that it was a shaky start for India as well, who did not find things as easy as they would have otherwise. They collapsed to 77 for 6. They collapsed to 77 for 6. Not an easy job. As the next ball is again a dot ball by Arshdeep Singh. He has conceded only 2 runs, 1 for 2 of 1.4 overs. That is exactly the kind of bowling you expect from Arshdeep in the absence of Bumrah. They have a stranglehold on the USA batsman right now, and no easy runs are being given, as they shouldn't. There needs to be an anchor type innings from one of the USA batsmen. The question remains, who will it be? Just a reminder, the first wicket was an easy catch to cover, and the second one was an outside edge that resulted in a popping catch to Shivam Dubey. bringing the score to 12 for 2, where it remains at the end of 2.5 overs as the last delivery is safely picked up by Shankishan and it's a dot ball. It's a fantastic spell by Arshdeep Singh. As of now, 1 for 2 at the end of 2 overs. The score is 12 for 2 right now, and this is after 3.1 overs. As Mohammad Siraj comes in to bowl his second over, having conceded 9 of his first. The first delivery results in a single guided away safely to third man. The USA is taking a cautious approach to this innings, as they should, because it's not the kind of pitch where you go hammer and tongs from the first delivery. It is the kind of pitch where you have to navigate the ball safely, spend some time at the crease, and then once you have your eyes set in, that's when you go for the big shots. That is the template that Suryakumar Yadav followed. As we speak, Siraj picks up another wicket. A misguided stroke from Reddy flies safely into the hands of the fielder as the USA lose their third wicket and the Wankhede erupts. 13 for 3 is the score right now. In the end, it was a very easy catch for Varun Chakravarti. Siraj picks up his second, and the Indian opening bowlers doing a fantastic job. A fantastic job, I must say. This is exactly the kind of start that a doctor ordered for India. It brings the new batsman onto the crease, Sanjay Krishna. The first ball, he guides it to the fielder to take a single. It's 14 for 3 at the end of 3.3 overs. You can see the averages of the players who are yet to come, ticking down right below the screen. To be honest, there is not a lot of batting to come after number 5. It's a rather top-heavy USA batting lineup, and 3 of them are back in the pavilion. A lot would depend on this pair now if the USA is to have a proper crack at it. But mark my words, the Indian bowlers will not make it easy at all. At all. Siraj continues his over. Disciplined bowling from both the Indian opening bowlers. As the ball is again guided to third man for a single. I think the game plan is clear for the US team. They will wait and watch till about the 10th or 12th over to see where they are and hope not to lose too many wickets. And then, at the end, chase down whatever is remaining with a flurry of boundaries. At least that's what it seems right now, looking at the cautious approach. We'll have to wait and watch. And it's not that these bowlers are easy to hit out of the ground in any case. Both Siraj and Arshdeep, even though Bumrah will be missed, but these two are making sure that he will not be missed by much. Siraj ends the over with a bouncer which flies safely to Ishan Kishan. Navigated safely in the end. There was a time till about the 15th over of the Indian innings when it looked like the USA were on the way to pull off a miraculous victory. And that would have been the case had they managed to dismiss Suryakumar Yadav early on. But he single handedly dragged the score from 77 for 6 to 160. Single handedly. It was a captain's innings for the ages and one that will remain in World Cup memories for a long, long time as the ball flies off the handle of Millen. I would not count it as a drop catch because it was an exceptional attempt. He managed to get his hands to it and saved a certain boundary. That was Sanju Samson, the substitute fielder. It was a full diving attempt by him. In the end, it resulted in only one run, taking the score to 17 for 3. Only 2 runs of this over so far. As the next ball is again bunted for a single by Millen. This has been a very disciplined effort by the Indians bowlers so far. 17 for 3 after 4.2 overs. That is exactly the dream start that the doctor had ordered for India, and they're sticking to it. It is going to be an uphill task for the USA. You can see the averages rolling down the ticker at the bottom of your screen, the averages of the batsmen yet to come, and there is only one of them who averages about 20. Well, that is some food for thought. That puts a lot of pressure on these two batsmen because after the seam bowlers, there will be the spinners, Varun Chakravarti and Akshar Patel, and seeing the amount of purchase that the USA bowlers got out of the pitch, they would be licking their lips in anticipation. And not to forget that India has Hardik Pandya in the ranks, and he will be expected to bowl at least 2 to 3 overs to lend support to the cause. But it will be the 8 overs of spin that would be the tricky part for the USA batsmen. How will they navigate the spin of Sir Patel, and how will they tackle the mysteries of Varun Chakravarti? That is a question that remains to be seen. Last 2 balls to go, as this one is an attempted hook shot by Millen, which reaches the boundary. I don't think Rinku Singh has stopped it. The umpire will check if this is a boundary. If you ask me, it looks like one because it was quite clear that Rinku Singh managed to brush the boundary with some part of his clothes. In fact, the ball ended up touching the boundary rope, so it's a clear boundary. It will be credited as a foul. which gets the USA score up to 23 for 3 with one last ball to go. One last ball to go. Arshdeep Singh steams in, and it's guided to a single by Sanjay, as the score of the 5 overs is 24 for 3. One last over of power play remaining. Remains to be seen if the captain Suryakumar continues with Mohammad Siraj or he goes in with Hardik Pandya. Would be a good idea to save Mohammad Siraj for the death, even though he is not particularly known to be a death bowler, but he is particularly capable. He is quite capable of handling the situation if it is given to him. India continues with Mohammad Siraj as the bowling option. He steams in to bowl his first ball. It's guided for a single by Milan. So far, I think India will be very happy with their effort, restricting the USA to 25 for 3 in the power play so far. They have got rid of their top order. The entire top order is back in the hatch, and it remains to be seen if the remaining USA batsmen are capable and mature enough to guide their teams to victory in towards what looks like a tricky total on a tricky wicket. Mark my words, this is not a batting paradise. The ball is gripping onto the pitch, and hitting the big shots is not as easy as it seems, which puts Suryakumar's innings into perspective. That's how good it was. Against the grain of play, it was one of the best captain's knocks I've seen in modern times, without an ounce of exaggeration. He scored a lot of runs on the leg side from improbable positions, using nothing but his exceptional wrist work. Siraj continues his third over. Oh, that was almost chopped onto the stumps, a near miss. That was a near miss if there was one. Ouch, that would have hurt. That would have surely hurt. However, they have not really allowed any of the US batsmen to really get off the mark. There has been no explosive over so far. Oh, that narrowly misses the bat and safely goes to Ishan Kishan. A very tight controlled over by Siraj so far. It looks like USA will end their power play to have a score below 30, and that is exactly what must have been discussed in the team meeting, in the team huddle. When it comes to India, restrict the other team to below 30 in the power play and try and pick a couple of wickets. Well, they have picked up 3. That's a fine boundary. It was expertly guided beyond point. Deftly maneuvered, I must say, by Milind for the first boundary of the over, which brings the score to 30 for 3 in 5.5 overs. Delicate played. The last ball is bunted for a single, which makes it 7 of the over, and the USA managed to get 31 off the power play, but at the cost of 3 wickets. It comes at a heavy cost. As the power play ends, if we compare where the teams were, I would say they were at a near identical situation since India also lost 2 wickets very early with Abhishek Sharma departing for a golden duck. For a golden duck, and many other batsmen followed, with Ishan Kishan not managing to get many. Tilak Verma played a cameo. Shivam Dubey was again dismissed of his first delivery. So I would say, as of now, the teams are about par. However, there is one big difference between the teams. That is one innings of a lifetime by Suryakumar Yadav. A fantastic captain's innings in the situation of the game. And the question remains, is any batsman in the USA squad capable of scoring at that pace? They would need that burst at the end if they are to have any hope of achieving this total. Because, like I said before, they face about 8 overs of spin to come, 8 overs of tricky spin, mystery spin, orthodox spin, and I think those 8 overs by Akshay Patel and Varun Chakravarti will decide the overall fate of the game. Well, just as I've said it, Chakravarti is here to bowl his first over. One of the finest mystery spinners in the world who has had a fantastic couple of years, both in the IPL and for India at the international level. He has a big variety of tricks up his sleeve. Let's see which ones he brings out today. Surya would be expecting at least a couple of wickets from his premier spin bowler, and I don't think the USA batsman will go after him. It would be an unwise move if they start attempting to smash Varun in his first over. They have to take a good look at him because I'm not sure if they regularly face bowlers like Varun in the nets or against other associate teams. Here is Varun, and the first ball is a single played behind the wicket deftly. The asking rate is slowly but steadily climbing up. It stands at 9.44 right now. In another couple of quiet overs, it will rise about 10. Again a single by Sanjay. 2 of this over so far. Uneventful, I must say. They have to make sure that the required run rate remains at 10 or below. Because if it rises up beyond 12, 13, or even 15, it would not be a cakewalk to score them in the death overs against the likes of Arshdeep Singh, Siraj, and Hardik Pandya, all of whom are very experienced death bowlers. That's another single taken off Varun Chakravarti, who has conceded 3 of his first 4 deliveries. He seems to be getting good purchase of the wicket. Not as much as I'd expected to be honest, but he's doing a decent job at containing. And that's all Team India needs to do right now. Put on a chokehold, make them fight hard for their wins, make sure there are no freebies given. Varun Chakravarti has a very productive record for the Google, and he also has a deadly carrom ball. As Sanjay takes a double after guiding the ball to the boundary, this takes the score to 36 for 3 at the end of 7 overs, as the required rate continues to climb up. If you're here for the first time, please like and subscribe. This is one of the very few English commentary streams you will find online. As the next over is taken over by Akshar Patel, 36 for 3 at the end of 7 overs. The USA, as Akshar Patel starts his over, and immediately some term for him. He completely bamboozles the batsman. He beats the edge, he beats the stumps, and ball goes to Ishan Kishan. Wow. Encouraging signs for Akshar Patel so far. That completely defeated the batsman all ends up. As he comes in to bowl the next ball, and the batsman can only take a single. Well, I'm afraid singles and doubles are not really going to do it for the USA unless they plan to have a go at the very end, just like Suryakumar, but it is easier said than done. Suryakumar is a veteran and has been doing it for a number of years, both for India and for Mumbai Indians. So if they are actually relying for someone at the end to pull it off, well, I would say that's brave. As the next ball is flicked into the air, only to get a single. It's been a steady start for Akshar Patel, who has conceded only 2 runs of his first 3 deliveries. The spin chokehold is on, and the USA have to find a way to beat it. I'd actually expected Varun Chakravarti to get more purchase of the wicket than Akshar Patel, but it turns out to be the opposite, as Akshar is the one turning the ball and beating the batsman for the second time. They have only managed 2 runs of the first 5 deliveries. Milind is trying his very best, as that is a rare misfield from Tilak Verma that allows them to take a single, but that's still only 3 of the over. Score is 39 for 3 at the end of 8. USA now require 123 runs in 72 balls at the required run rate of 10.25. Yes, the run rate for the first time, the required run rate, has crept up to about 10 for the first time ever. And that would put some pressure on them, because they simply have to have a boundary and over. They cannot leave it till very late. But it has to be said, there is not plenty of firepower remaining in the USA ranks. I would say a lot depends on these two, especially Monank. He fails to pick up Varun's googly, and it's a dot ball as it thuds onto his pad, and a half-hearted appeal later. It is yet another dot ball. Varun Chakravarti seems to be finding his groove slowly but surely. The next ball is guided towards third man, and it's a single. Revisiting the first ball, it was a complete miss. The batsman absolutely failed to pick up the googly. At the end of the first three deliveries, they have only managed to pick one of the overs so far, and the score is 41 for 3. Well, well, well. They need to do a lot better than this. An attempted slog from Sanjay, which only goes to the fielder and results in a single. The required run rate is now 10.8, creeping towards 11, and they really don't want it to rise any further than that, and it puts enormous pressure towards the later half of the innings. The next delivery is bunted towards the, the fielder, and it's again a dot ball. So far, this over has yielded only 2 runs. The spin choke is on, guys. It's on in a big way. As expected, because India is known for its famous spin attack, at least in T20s. In the absence of Bumrah, it had to be the spinners who took control. However, it has to be said that the 3 wickets so far have all fallen to Stevens. As Varun finishes the over with just 2 runs conceded. Overall, the score is 41 for 3. The USA need 121 of 66. It's almost coming to. The run rate is creeping towards 12 and over. Right now it's 12. It is 11, the required run rate. But it is only a matter of time before it will creep up to 12 and beyond. And that is something they really don't want. They have to seize some kind of momentum. The partnership so far is laboring along at 28 of 35 balls. It is simply not acceptable in the context of a T20 game. Simply not acceptable. They have to at least bring it to run a ball for starters, as Akshar Patel starts his next over with a dot ball. The spinners are doing an excellent job at containing the batsmen. No boundary has been scored off of them so far. Not a single. It remains to be seen whether they take any risks against the spinners, but they will have to at some point or the other, as it is yet another dot ball. Akshar Patel comes into bowl again, and that is a glorious shot. It goes deep into the stands, 20 rows back, and they get a much needed 6. This brings the score to 48 for 3, but they need many more of those if they want to remain in the hunt. Despite the 6, the run rate is still below 5. It is at 4.9, and that is not acceptable for a chase of 160. Akshar Patel pulls back with a dot ball right after the 6. There's an attempted run out, and they are asking the umpire more out of hope than any conviction. The umpire says it's not out, does not refer it to the third umpire. which is fair enough. When it is crystal clear that it's going to be not out, there is absolutely no use wasting everyone's time. I have to say that was a good throw, a diving throw by Tilak Verma, who is an exceptional fielder. As the last ball is again a single, still a relatively productive over for the USA, 8 coming off it. At the end of the halfway mark, USA is at 49 for 3. We catch a glimpse of Hardik Pandya for the first time. He comes into bowl, that means the two remaining overs of Varun Chakravarti have been held back to be utilized later, and that's a wise move as he is getting purchase of the wicket. Hardik Pandya comes in to bowl, his hair colored blonde. Oh, that's a squeaky four. It took the outside edge, went past Ishan Kishan and flew off to the boundary. A lucky four, but a four nonetheless, and it will really help the USA catch up to the required run rate. The required run rate at this point is 11 even after that boundary, and it is creeping up every single time they don't have a par over. They really need to have a couple of big overs to stay in the hunt. That was almost chopped onto the stumps, missed by a whisker, a dot ball in the end. But they continues his over. Oh, that was a passionate LBW appeal, but the umpire showed no interest and gave it as leg by. I think something has to give here. They have to target Pandya because they can't be expecting to go all attack against the spinners who seem to be getting a good purchase of this wicket. And as we speak, Suryakumar has taken a review. This is a review for an LBW check, which they think is out. At least Hardik Pandya does. He seemed to be absolutely convinced that it was going to hit the stumps. It remains to be seen if it was. Was it? Only time will tell. They're first checking if there was an outside edge. Doesn't seem to be one at first glance, but they will still check ultra edge. As expected, there is a no outside edge. It cuts onto the pads. Remains to be seen if height is an issue as we go on to ball tracking. And ball tracking suggests that the wickets were missing. It was a height issue and not a line issue. As we go on to the next delivery, 10.3 overs have passed. The batsman takes a swipe at it only to take a single. That's only a single, guys. I feel the USA batsmen are letting the game slip away from them because the partnership, while it is 43, it has come of 45 balls. It's not even a strike rate of 100. And it is not acceptable in T20 game unless they are planning to really go at it in the last 5 overs or so. As the next ball is skied into the air, but it lands safely. And it's a single. One more delivery to go. Hardik has so far conceded six. Remains to be seen if he closes the over with a wicket or with a dot ball. As it turns out, he will have to bowl it again as it was a wide. Attempted the slow bouncer, but it was too high above the head for it to be a legitimate ball, at least in T20 internationals. The ball flies over harmlessly, and he will have to bowl it again. And he bowls the last ball to Sanjay, who tonks it over Hardik's head, a straight six. 10 rows back in the stands. He finishes the over with a bang. The score is now 63 for 3. What a shot that was by Sanjay, by the way. It's 63 for 3 at the end of 11, and the USA still need 99 of 54 balls. It is a tall ask, yes, but it is not impossible. I would say the game is still in the balance, slightly leaning towards India because of the required run rate, but they definitely have to work their way towards a victory. Varun Chakravarti prepares to bowl his third over. He has been very economical so far, conceding only 7 of his 2 overs as he runs in to bowl an attempted sweep by Millen, but he could only manage a single. Nothing much. It will be crucial to see how they navigate these. The remaining 2 overs by Varun. That was very expertly guided towards the boundary by Sanjay. A very delicate touch behind the wicket for a well-deserved boundary. What a shot. These two are still keeping USA in the game. They are not letting the required run rate creep to an absurd number such as 14, 15 or beyond. It is still hovering around 11, which means they still have a chance. As the next ball is taken for a single, USA need 92 in 50 balls. Is it a tall ask? Well, in the context of the game, yes, this is a tricky wicket. I will re I will reaffirm it once again. This is a tricky wicket. It is not easy come and start going bang bang on this pitch as they guided towards another single. One delivery left for Varun. So far, he has been wicketless. As he comes into bowl, and that is out. That is out. It's a clear stumping. He manages to bamboozle the batsman. The umpire has sent it up for referral, but I'm very sure the batsman knows it. He was out of his crease, and by the time Ishan Kishan took out the reels, he was still out of the crease. That is out. The score is now 71 for 4, and Varun picks up his first. Between the two of them, the two spinners have given not more than 6 runs an over, and that's a great achievement. The new batsman is Shubham Ranjane, who also played his part with the ball, is now here to rescue his team. And it's a tall ask for him as the required run rate has crept up to 11.5 and over. 11.5 and over. So as things stand, USA is 71 for 4 with Hardik Pandya coming in to bowl his second over. First one was kind of expensive. It went for 13, but there is no other bowling option apart from Shivam Dubey, and I doubt whether he will get an over this match. India is going in with one bowler less because Harshit Rana was injured and Mohammad Siraj replaced him. Harshit Rana also is a handy batting option. Sanjay takes a wild swipe at Hardik Pandya, but the ball lands safely and it's only a single. 72 for 4. The USA need 90 and 46 balls, and the required run rate is again knocking at the door of 12, 11.74 right now. It will be interesting to see the approach that the USA batsmen take. And you have to remember there are still 3 overs of spin left, one from Varun and two from Akshay. And I have a guess that they will be bowled between overs 14 to 18, very crucial stage of the game. Yet another dot ball. Every dot ball is now putting pressure on the batsman. It is not an easy wicket to bat on at all. This is a much better over by Hardik Pandya. After going for 13 in his first, he has so far gone for only one run of his first three deliveries. So he's doing a good holding job at the moment. And that is all India need to do. Keep on piling the pressure and let the USA batsmen make the mistakes. The batsman attempts a wild swipe and he succeeds as the ball pierces the field for a boundary. A very welcome boundary, I must say. The USA now need 86 in 44 balls. 85 in 42, in fact. I'm sorry. We'll have to see where the acceleration comes from because one of these two has to take on the mantle. And I have a feeling it will be Sanjay since it is he who has his eyes set in. It's a bit surprising that Hardik Pandya hasn't utilized the short ball much because he's known for using the short balls, both the slower and the faster ones, and he has been quite effective at it so far in his career. However, this innings he has taken a different approach. Let's see if he ends the over with bouncer, and he doesn't. It's a wideish delivery that is guided to third man by the batsman for a single. At the end of 13, it is 78 for 4, and the USA need 84 in 42, exactly double. And the required run rate, is now 12. It's not going to be a piece of cake if they are out to achieve it, because on one hand, you have to go for a boundary each over, or at least a couple of them. But then again, there is not a lot of firepower that is remaining in reserve for the USA. These two will have to do the bulk of the scoring. And not to forget, this ball goes for a six, a mighty six. Akshar Patel's third over and the very first ball is dispatched by Sanjay for a massive six. That's one way to start an over. They seem to have their intentions clear now. The next ball is guided to a single to bring the score to 85 for 4. As things stand now, the required run rate is 11.69. It has been kind of kept in check with an irregular flow of boundaries, including the six of this over. Sanjay holds the key here. Akshay Patel so far has conceded 20 of 2.4 overs. He had a very economical start, but after the six, that affected his numbers somewhat as the ball is lofted into the air but lands safely just out of soup. Still on the way. You can still see the worry on the face of Suryakumar Yadav because he knows the game still hangs in the balance. He cannot take it casually. You have to give full credit to the American team because most people don't take associate teams, they don't give them the respect that they deserve. But they have shown that so far that they are not here to make up the numbers. They are not here as punching bags. Team USA is here to compete, and so far they have competed really well as the drink break come on and the players take some much deserved rest. The USA now need 73 and 36, and the required run rate is upwards of 12. It's 12.17. They have to balance it out from here. They cannot afford to lose too many wickets in the pursuit of this total. But at the same time, they have to remember that there is 1 over of Siraj and 2 overs of Harshdeep Singh remaining. So these 3 overs by expert death bowlers, especially Harshdeep Singh, they are going to be crucial. So they have to take a few and not forget 1 over from Varun Chakravarti is yet to be bowled. That one I feel is will be the crucial over. We will either see a wicket or two, and I don't expect to see many boundaries being hit because Varun doesn't operate that way. He has a career economy rate hovering around 6, which is exceptional in this modern T20 era. Someone who bowls at an economy of 6 is like gold dust. Again, we have to give credit to the American team because they are still in the match. 34 overs out of 40 have been completed and they are still hanging on. They have not allowed India to run away with the match. In fact, India has had to fight tooth and nail. And that's what you want to see. You don't want to see one sided matches with associate teams where they are treated like a punching bag. Sure, the hardcore fans might enjoy it, their team getting the best over the opposition, but a true cricket fan always likes to see a contest, and this one has been more than a contest by Team USA. They're fighting tooth and nail. They're still in the game, and there's plenty of work to do. But I have a feeling this win will go to the wire. As Varun Chakravarti comes in to bowl his fourth and last overs, this will be a very important over. The first ball is an attempted hoik that falls safely, and Siraj picks it up, throws it back. It's only a single. Something has to give here. Varun Chakravarti is someone who is known for making things happen. Let's see if he makes something happen now. As he runs in to bowl his second delivery, and that's a passionate appeal for LBW, and it's given out. He is out. The fifth wicket falls. Shubham is considering a review and he takes one. The LBW is now under review. At first sight, it did look plumb as if it was hitting middle stump, but Shubham looks very confident, as if he knows there is an inside edge. Remains to be seen. Let's take a look with the third umpire. Well, it's difficult to say at first sight because we'll have to watch the sneakometer, which says that there is a faint inside edge. This is not a wicket. This is not a wicket, but it is a valuable dot ball. Shubham successfully repeals the LBW appeal. Guys, if you're here for the first time, please consider subscribing. It would help me a lot. The next delivery is a single, only two of the first three. So it's clear that they have decided to treat Varun Chakravarti with some respect. And that is a sensible move because this is his last over and doesn't make sense to risk going after him. Yet again, another single, and the required run rate has now crept up to 13.5. 13.5. Well, it's becoming a tougher ask when you have a Yorker specialist waiting in the opposition ranks. Yes, I'm talking about Arshdeep Singh. The next one is a dot. Shubham defends it. A strange approach, I must say, in the context of the game. He should be looking to take a single or two, at least. Let's see if he has something different to offer in the final ball. And he does, as he pulls off an almighty thwack that goes into the stands, and Varun Chakravarti goes for his six in the very last ball of his spell. This brings the score to 98 for 4 at the end of 15. Varun finishes with a spell of 1 for 24, a respectable one in the context of the game. There are 5 overs still to go, and Akshar Patel takes the next one to bowl his last. The first ball is broad ball. He could not read that delivery at all. Every dot ball is mounting the pressure. Every single dot ball at this moment. And the pressure has caught on as Sanjay goes for a wild slog that is hovering in the air. And if the fielder underneath is Rinku Singh, there is no chance catch will be dropped. It is taken, and Akshar Patel picks his first wicket, and the score is now 98 for 5. The complications increase for Team USA. It's getting tougher and tougher. Sanjay had to go for a wild slog, to be honest, because he could not keep dealing the inevitable, but it took an outside edge. The departure of Sanjay Krishnamurthy for a well deserved innings of 37 brings Harmeet Singh onto the crease. Harmeet Singh is known more for his bowling prowess. Let's see if he can take his team over the line in what looks to be an increasingly difficult task. By the way, the other batsman, Ransme, is in his hometown. He's on his home wicket. He is a Mumbai boy. So he must be knowing something about the wicket, and he is 14 of 9. So a lot would depend on him. As Harmeet takes the strike, Akshar Patel comes into bowl the third delivery. It's a wild slog which goes into the hands of Mohammad Siraj. 2 wickets back to back for Akshar Patel. And this game is now heading towards its conclusion. And an Indian win is looking increasingly likely. It was great work by Mohammad Siraj in the deep. The spinners seem to be doing the job for India with 3 wickets between them. And Akshar Patel has 3 deliveries to go still. The required run rate has now climbed up to 14.22. 14.22. With only 4 wickets in hand, it is getting more and more difficult for the USA team to reach the target. The next batsman to come is Mohsin, who had a fine outing with the ball. Let's see if he can contribute anything with the bat, as this is a hat-trick ball, which is safely guided towards the fielder for a single to bring the score to 100. The required run rate climbs up as we speak, and it is now at 14.88. They need almost 15 and over to make a match of this now. And the big hits have to start sooner rather than later. Sir Patel comes in to bowl his final delivery of a spell. Let's see if he manages to pick a wicket. It is a dot ball, as Mohsin plays a defensive stroke. 4 overs left. USA need 62 runs at a run rate of 15.5. The fireworks have to fly now, or else it is game over for USA. Remember that 2 of those 4 overs will be bowled by Arshdeep Singh, who is considered a death over specialist and who seemingly bowls Yorkers at will, just like his senior partner Jasprit Bumrah, who is missing today. Let's hope it's only a rest and there is no injury. The next over, the 17th, will be bowled by Hardik Pandya. The first ball is only a single. Every single, every dot ball will keep mounting the pressure on as the run rate creeps up to the required run rate creeps up to 16 and over. Well, it is now going to take something really miraculous for the USA to make it to the total. All due respect to them for making a match out of this right till the 17th over of the second innings. But it looks like the innings is tapering off towards nothing right now. As Pandya comes in and bowls yet another dot ball.